And the truth is today, there's just no excuse to not be able to put out content because all the barriers of content production are down. I'd say the one aspect there is we could hyper speed our production of content, but the danger there is we could also hyper speed our production of crap content. And you need to
Yeah, I
find
made a
that
face.
balance. Yeah. And you need to
The
find that
content
balance.
has to have a job.
Yeah. Yes.
And if it's just marketing with Claude producing content at scale, it's not going to do what it needs to do. And why I like what Tony's building is he's got an ability for, like, if the sales folks have a common objection or a frequently asked question or something like that, his platform makes it really easy to spin up a web page on that. So Tony, what I don't know if I know, like, you got, like, the salesperson uses your platform directly and they have control over that. Like, how does that happen? Don't go
Yeah,
into selling too much, but I'm genuinely curious. Like, are we putting content creation in the hands of salespeople? If we are, like, who reviews it? Like, what's up here? We cannot have a bunch of random ass shit on our website.
Yeah, in larger companies, there are multiple stakeholders, and then I don't know, God knows who is responsible and who's gonna post that content in the end, and it will not be the same as the actual insights from the sales are coming from. But I often work with founders, sales consultants, coaches, things like that, and those people are very close to their customers, so they know what those customers are talking about, and then they can use that insight. That's the first step. Like, okay, I actually know something about this topic. But what I'm really excited about, or recently I've been really excited about, like, is that we can obviously take a look at, like, the long-term trend in sales meetings and meeting notes, take a look at those and see that, hey, your website says this, you talk about this. Is it just that you just like to talk about this and it shouldn't be on the website, or should it be on the website? But like, it's really nice to kind of, like, the more of these AI tools we have and the more meetings are recorded all the time, the more we will understand, like, what the salespeople are actually doing in the meetings. Is it like, I've been in companies where sales is selling completely different thing than what the actual product is doing, and yeah, so it can lead you to different places. But I think there are a lot of opportunities in terms of both for people that are running their own companies, they know their customers really well, so they can create content that really resonates, and then also for bigger teams to take a look at that. Okay, what our sales teams are talking, what our product teams are building. Is there a match with our content at all? And that's been always the hardest part for marketing teams. Like, you might have hundreds of pages, blog posts, all the documentation, a lot of landing pages. And when the product and service evolves, then it's really hard to keep up and be sure. And sales teams are always pushing the line forward. It's like, okay, I think we can do this. Kind of like, it's always like on the edge of the reality,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
actually,
And what I want to add to that before I want to get Glenn's insights is I always want to pull from the customer success teams because they know the weird but interesting things that the clients are doing that we never planned for. And that makes, back when I was in sales, that made for a great demo. And now I know that that's going to make for good product, is those clever use cases. So
yeah, I
Glenn,
was
go
going
ahead.
to
You had
say
something.
source attribution is important. One of the things, we have in our system is as you build out your knowledge base, it runs a health check and it will say, hey, this conflicts with this in these two different documents. You to fix it. It'll say, hey, you talk about ROI, but you don't explain how it's achieved. You talk about compliance, but you don't say what regs you're compliant with. So it'll fill in those gaps. And I can't tell you how many times I've had clients say to me, I asked it a question and it said this, but that's not what we do. Where did you get that from? And we're able to go right into it's on your website, you know? So source attribution and where your document is and how accurate it is a major problem because people are just
Yeah.
creating, publishing without thinking it through or go backing or updating. And we found that one of the most interesting parts of building out a knowledge base for a client is finding out how much they think they have that they don't, and how many things conflict with each other that they weren't even aware of.